All righty. Welcome everybody to our first Culver Connection for the fall 2024 class of our newest class of Wildcats. We're super excited to have you here tonight. We've got representatives from admissions, financial aid, and the business office here to help you better understand our business processes. So they're going to share some information with you and give you some time to answer questions. I'm going to keep my eye on the chat. So we'll do our best to make certain that we get all of your questions answered tonight. So first, I'm going to go ahead now and turn it over to Eric Neal, who is our Director of Admissions. So Eric, take it away.
All right. Well, thanks, Angie. Hi to everybody tonight. Really appreciate you guys being here. We This is actually our second year doing this, and really was a awesome kind of series last year. So we're really excited to bring it back. So, as Angie said, if you have questions as we're going through, we're happy to answer them. We always say there's no silly questions or no dumb questions, and we definitely mean that. So please feel free to shoot those in the chat. But as Angie said, my name is Eric Neal. I'm our director of admission at Culver-Stockton College. I, along with my team, work with your student and hopefully you as well through the whole process. A lot of you are probably, or your student are hopefully at the stage where they've decided to attend Culver-Stockton. But if there's anyone here who their student's still deciding, that's also great. Most of what I'm going to talk about is kind of focusing on things to do this summer for students who have maybe made the decision and have some things to take care of. But again, if you have any questions or anything that we can answer, we're happy to do that at any stage. So one of our biggest things is making sure that if your student has committed to attend Culver-Stockton, that they've done a few things. Number one is to make sure they have logged into our student portal, which is called My Culver. And My Culver is kind of going to be their base of operations from once they're admitted into the college all the way through graduation, to be honest. So even as current students, that's where a lot of things are going to live as far as their class schedule, billing, access to their email, as well as Canvas, which is our academic system for a lot of classroom work. So we kind of start getting them familiar with that right away as a prospective student. The biggest thing for my Culver is they're going to get a temporary login right when they get admitted into the college. We always ask students to try to get in there and log in so that we can make sure that they can get in. But also, we do have sometimes some issues. We're a Google campus, and so Google has a thing called a two-factor or a multi-factor authentication. And it's a timing thing. So if your student is having any issues getting into My Culver, they are not alone. It happens all the time, and we can help you get that reset. So I like to start with that just because we have that issue come up a lot, and people are like, we can't log in, but it's totally fine. We can get you reset pretty easily through our IT office. But once they are logged in, there's going to be an area on My Culver that's called Accepted Students. That's kind of where all of the good forms and information live that we kind of need them to complete throughout the process. One is going to be their confirmation fee. So that's something that every student has to have down to be able to get housed if they're going to live on campus, as well as get a class schedule. So that's something that we always try to get them to get done. That is where they're going to do their housing form, which is their housing and their meal plan form. We have a really great, in my opinion at least, a really great kind of survey that we have all students take that is going to ask them really simple stuff like, are you a morning person or an evening person? Do you like to study in your room or study elsewhere? Do you like to listen to music loudly, or what kind of music do you like? Those kind of things that actually Angie's office Student Life and Res Life, our Residence Life office will use potentially to match up students. Some students are going to already have roommates that they want to live with, which is great, and you can put that down as well. But that survey, it helps us kind of put people in rooms and can kind of match some people up to try and not just completely randomly put people together, but to try to match up people that we think are going to get along. I know we have another session a little bit later on, in about a week down the road, I think, with our residence life office. So I won't get all down that road. I'll let them handle that. But Form B is what all students have to do. Even if your student's commuting, they do need to fill that out. And so that's on there as well. There's also going to be an area called Med Proctor. It's listed as Form C, but it's actually it's a service that we use called Med Proctor, which your student will have to submit their immunization records to us. That's fairly straightforward. Your student can actually upload it directly to Med Proctor, which we can help you kind of do that. They do have to have their Culver email for that, which means they do have to have that confirmation fee completed. Or they can actually send it over to their admission counselor directly, which is actually what I would recommend right now. It's just the easiest, and your student's admission counselor can get that on there and get that taken care of. What Med Proctor does is they're a third-party service that we use that goes in and actually verifies that all the records are up to date and correct and that everything's good to go. And if there's something that your student is missing or needs, then we can let you know as well. The other form is called Form D, which is actually just a separate set of links that's going to take you to sign up for our different registration days. So we actually have on-campus registration days where you and your student can come to campus and actually get registered for classes and do a couple other really neat sessions. We had one in April and we just had one this past Friday. And then we have our final one on campus on June 21st. So that's a Friday. And if you're able to come to campus, and haven't signed up for that, it's always a really great time. There's some great sessions and a great way to meet some other incoming prospective students and their families as well. But if you're not able to make it to campus, which totally understandable, we have families from all over the country and actually all over the world as well. So sometimes making it to campus for that isn't possible. We do also have a long distance registration. So your student can actually talk to their admission counselor, and we'll get you signed up for that. There's not a specific date. The way that works is they will actually have a schedule made for them, and then they'll have an opportunity to set up an appointment with an advisor. That'll be happening probably around the same time as that June 21st registration day, somewhere in that area. We'll get you some more information as we get closer. But we do want to make sure that you and your family and your student have an opportunity to talk to an advisor about their schedules. And then the last form on the acceptance form list is called Form E. And that is actually it's called a registration agreement. And it's basically just an agreement that your student's going to sign electronically. That's just going to say, yes, I am going to take these classes. Yes, I understand that those classes have a fee attached to them, and that and that I'm going to take these classes. Super simple. They can do it right online, and that's something that is great to get that taken care of as soon as they can. But it's not we can work with them throughout the summer on that. So those are the main forms that we ask for on the admission side of things. There's also, of course, a lot of other things as far as on the financial aid side that I'll let Patty Matheson talk about here in a second. And then some other things, obviously, with student billing on the billing side. From our perspective, your student's admission counselor is really there to help them and you guys with anything that you have problems with, or if you have questions about. We're in the office all summer. So we're there 8 to 4, even sometimes beyond, every day, Monday through Friday. And are willing to set up appointments basically whenever. So if those times don't work for you, and you need someone to talk to you at 7 p.m. On one night, just let us know and we're happy to accommodate that and walk you through something if something isn't making sense. We're a pretty small office. We have 4 admission counselors and myself, along with our visit coordinator. So it's a very hands-on, very one-on-one office that's kind of here to help you all the way through the process to when your students actually stepping foot on campus. We're the ones that are going to check you in, at least the first people. There's a lot of people you'll meet that day, but we're going to check you in and make sure that everything's good to go. That's that's kind of our main job, especially over the summer, is just to make the process as smooth as possible. So like I said, if there's ever a point where you're not sure or you think there's something you haven't done that you need to check on, you just have them let the counselor know, or just reach out to the admission office, and we're more than happy to help you, or to check in and say, nope, looks like everything's good to go, nothing to worry about, or say, actually, it looks like there's one thing you might need to do, and here's how you do that. So, other than that, the other thing I'll mention, once your student does their confirmation fee, they will want to they're going to get their Culver email pretty much. Usually it's the next day after they do the fee. They will want to log in to my Culver again, because once they get access to their email, Google makes them redo that two-factor. And so they need to log in and make sure that they can access it. It also helps us to make sure that they can get in, because they will start getting things in that Culver email throughout the summer. So again, if they're having any issues with logging in, or getting any weird errors or anything like that, just let us know, and we'll help you out and make sure we get that all reset. We'll still use their personal email throughout the summer, but we start to incorporate the Culver email, because obviously that's what pretty much everybody on campus is going to be using for them once they officially get to campus, and even a little bit before. So once they get their classes, and as we get later in the summer, professors will start reaching out, potentially using that Culver email. So we want to make sure that that's working a good go. So again, if there's any issues with that or any problems, please let our office know, and we're happy to help.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Eric. Again, if you have any questions, if you just want to throw them in the chat, we'll do our best to get those answered. We're going to turn this over now to Patty, who's going to talk to you all about financial aid.
All right, glad to see everybody here. We're going to talk a little bit tonight about what do I need to be doing this summer? What types of things do I need to turn into the financial aid office? How do I look at my financial aid? We have an online financial aid portal, and if students haven't seen that, I'm going to show that to you. We're going to, here we go. So this is our online financial aid portal. And tonight we're going to look at Mickey Mouse. So this is Mickey. When he logs into the financial aid portal, which he does through his My Culver account, when he gets into his My Culver, he's going to say, hey, Mickey, here we are. So Mickey has a menu at the top left and a year at the top right. So those are the things that he needs to know. He's make sure you're on the correct year. So we're going to go to, looks like Mickey has some documents he needs to turn in. Now, normally people won't have this many documents. This is just an example so you guys can look and see. So if a student needs to submit taxes or anything, they can upload it directly here on their portal. Click here and upload that document. If they need to complete an athletic agreement, when they click on the button, it's going to bring up that athletic agreement for them to complete. Now, the athletic agreement, dependent housing agreement, those things are not fillable. You have to print them and submit them, but you can upload them right here. Just take a picture and upload it right up to your computer or on your phone. Same thing with the verification worksheet. Anything that the student has to submit is going to be here under documents and messages. So Mickey says, I want to look and see what my financial aid awards are. So you can see right here, accept or decline awards. Any kind of information that the student needs to see if they're going to live on campus, it would show them some housing information here and how much it's going to cost, an average for meals and housing for the student. Information from the FAFSA is here. The student aid index is taken into account. And then at the bottom, it's going to show awards. So students can go directly from this screen, change their status from pending to accepted, and submit that right here on this screen. If you have loans awarded to you, you can accept them through here, or if you want to adjust those loans and adjust the dollar amount, accept or decline the dollar amount, you can do that here as well. So anything that the student is looking for turning in, they're mostly going to find in here. Also in here, you're going to have information about the Parent Plus loan. That loan is available now. You can go ahead and apply for that for the 24-25 academic year if you want to. The interest rate has been set and it is 9.083% for 24-25. So there's a link directly here that can take you right to the Plus loan application right here on this page. And anytime a student on the right, it'll show the student the information about how much eligibility the parent would have for the Parent Plus loan. That doesn't mean that's how much you need to borrow for the year. That's just the maximum amount that the parent can borrow. Other things you're going to find in here, payment options. So Julie's going to talk about that in a little bit, but this is pretty much what they have to offer as far as payment options: cash, check, or credit card, monthly payment plan, direct Parent Plus loan, and the private or alternative student loans. So there's links here directly to some of those loan applications. Anything that you might be looking at, you're going to be able to find in as far as payment options. Another thing to think about is if you have any private scholarships that you've received as a student and you want those to be reflected on your financial aid and your student bill, send us a copy of those. You can email it to us and say, I was the recipient of the XYZ scholarship for $500. We'll get that put on your financial aid and it'll be reflected on your bill when it comes out in June. So we just want to make sure anything that you guys know needs to be added to your financial aid so it reflects on your bill, get that to us as soon as we can so we can try to get it reflected properly before billing statements go out in June. So anybody have any additional questions? We're open from 8 to 4 during the summer every day. Our information is shown on the home screen here. You can see we have email, phone number, fax, text, whatever you guys need, but we have an open door policy. If you guys happen to be going through Canton and you just want to stop in and see us, we'd love to see you. We'd love to meet with you. So give us a call or drop us an email if you have any questions. And that's pretty much what I have, unless you have anything else, Angie.
Nope. Does anybody have any questions? All right. Well, now we're going to turn it over to Julie Strauss, who is our Vice President for Finance and our Chief Financial Officer, and she is going to walk you through our payment options.
Hello, everyone. I'm glad you're here tonight. And first and foremost, I just want to say welcome. Welcome to Culver-Stockton College. We're glad you're here. And the student billing office is a part of my office, and we definitely want to be a resource for you. So if you ever have any questions about paying your bill or any questions about your bill, please don't hesitate to reach out. So the most important item that I can share with you tonight is paying your bill. So first and foremost, if you are a new student to Culver, you will receive a paper mail in the old-fashioned United States post office mail. But that'll be the last time that you receive your bill that way. Second semester and going forward, the bills will be available on My Culver. We try to be somewhat environmentally friendly, but the first time you will get your bill in your mailbox. When you receive that bill, we do have a lot of options for how you can go about paying your bill. If you just want to pay the balance in full, that's always an option, and those bills will be due August 1st. But we do have other options if you'd like to do something else. So if you would like to pay your bill in 5 installments, we have that option. And the 5 payment plan option, the payments are due in June, July, August, September, and October. We have a 4-month payment plan option, and those are due in July, August, September, and October. And we also have a 3-month payment plan option if you would prefer that, and those are due in August, September, and October. And those dates are really important. All of the payment plan options finish in October on purpose, because in October, your student or you, the student, will be it'll be time for you to register for your classes for the spring semester. And in order to register for your classes for the spring semester, your fall bill has to be paid. So all the payment plans work on that schedule to make sure that your bill will be paid so that you can make sure that your bill is paid when that time comes. In terms of paying your bill, there are several ways. You can mail a check, just like you would when you get that bill, you can just mail a check back to us. Or you can also go on to My Culver, and we accept Visa and MasterCard and Discover. We don't accept American Express, but we do accept the other options. We also accept e-checks. If the student has given the parent what we call FERPA access, and FERPA is the Family Education Right to Privacy Act. If the student has given that access to the parent will be able to see the bill and also sign up for a payment plan. If not, the student can sign up for the payment plan in My Culver themselves. Our plan is to get the bills out. Hopefully they should be, we want to get the bills out next week. So you'll start seeing those. I'm looking at my notes to see if there's anything else I wanted to share. I think that's it. So you can always look at your bill on My Culver at any time once we have those ready. I would encourage you to communicate with us. If there's anything on the bill that you think, well, that doesn't look right, I'm missing my XYZ scholarship, or I don't have a housing charge or something like that, please reach out and we will work with you to get those resolved right away. But I think that's it for the payment plans.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Julie. Does anybody have any questions for Julie about the bills or payment options? You're welcome to unmute yourself and ask any questions, or you can certainly throw questions in the chat. Or if you have any questions for Patty in financial aid or Eric in admissions, we are more than happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Yeah, one question. On My Culver, can we see our what monthly bill would be if we do the 5 installments, or is it something we have to set up first?
You do actually have to set up the payment plan first, but you can, it would be, you could figure it yourself too, because so let's say we put on your charges for your tuition, your housing, and your meals, and then financial aid lets us know what you have in terms of scholarships and grants and federal loans or whatever. And then your remaining bill comes out to be, say you owe $1,200, and you know you're going to sign up for the 4-month payment plan option. You can just take that $1,200 and divide by 4, and that's how much each one of your payments will be.
Thank you.
Julie, there's a question in the chat, the best way for international students to pay?
That's a great question. And you probably will want to email us directly, because it does depend where the international student will be paying from. But typically wire transfers work the best for international students. But you are more than welcome to, yep, Angie put it in the chat. If you email studentbilling@culver.edu and specifically tell us where you will be sending your payments from, that works. But we also have international students who go onto My Culver, and if they use a credit card, it still works okay. But sometimes wire transfers do work best for international students.
All right. Any final questions? Oh, we have another question in the chat, Julie. Can 3, 4, or 5 monthly payment plans be used per semester so we could pay 1 semester at a time?
That is an excellent question, and I should have explained that better. We do our charges and our payments are 1 semester at a time. So the only thing that you'll see on your bill right now, if you're a new student in the fall, is the fall semester. And those payment plan options, the 3, 4, and 5, will be paying the fall semester. And then the spring semester will start in January. And so, for instance, the 5-month payment plan for the spring semester starts in January. Each semester is separate. Very good question.
Well, if there are no further questions, we will certainly let you have the rest of your evening back. We do thank you so much for joining us this evening. Like I said, we will have this recording up on the parents and families page of our website, usually within a day or two. So if you're like me, I have to go back and watch it again to make certain I didn't miss anything. And we do hope that you will join us for our next session next Monday on June 3rd about living and dining on campus. It will be this same Zoom link. I will send it out again, though, to everyone. So again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We hope you have a great rest of your evening. Bye, everybody.